Welcome to Be Your Own Fan TV, a web series designed to showcase all aspects of sports business and to provide fans with personal snapshots of the industry's heavy hitters. Join host Tyler Tuminia as Be Your Own Fan TV gets up close and personal with Pat+O'Conner, President and CEO of Minor League Baseball.
I'll give you a quick tour of the place. Off the street entrance, we have a case with all of our league president balls. I found this picture in Houston, and it just struck me as that's what we're all about. Grandpa taking the boy to his first game. I lost my grandfather when I was about 11 or 12 years old, and we never had a chance to do a lot of it. This is the executive building that we built. We designed it based on our needs. Basically, department heads, executive VPs, and VPs are in this building. And then the other building was actually here, and we're going to take a tour of it. But this gives us the adequate space. We've got a little bit of room for growth. We've got visitor's office, executive conference room. So, we're really proud of it. It's been very functional for us. We're in the process of making it a little more green. We try to practice what we preach.
I mean, you're like head of the family. So how does somebody become president of Minor League Baseball?
Well, this isn't a job when you're a little kid you dream about having. It just kind of evolved. I was very fortunate to have played as a young man, a young kid, and up through college. My athletic skills abandoned me fairly early, but my love for the game and my interest in the game didn't. And most importantly, my opportunities to be in the game didn't go away. And I just kind of worked my way through the system. It's been a good run.
You followed one of the most influential presidents of Minor League Baseball, Mike Moore. What are some of the things that you took away either from him and how he ran the office and some things that you might have changed?
Mike and I had the ability to complement each other very, very well. He was a forward thinker. I told him, you leave this to me and you go out and you be 1, 3, 5 years out and then come down and we'll sit down and talk. Mike and I had a deal that as long as he wanted me to be here, I'd be here for him. As long as I wanted to stay, I would stay. But I think he will go down in history as probably the most productive president in minor league baseball history. And I think the staff, and myself included, had a great deal to do with that, and Mike would be the first to tell you. As I was telling you before we got started, I am very much a talking head with veto power these days, and try to offer direction, offer opinion and influence. But I have a group of about 10 people that really run this company. When we get into an IC meeting, which is the inner circle, we will force everyone to have an opinion. The umpire guy has to talk about marketing. The licensing person has to talk about umpiring. So generally, the stuff that we were at that you saw, when we didn't. Oh, that's
They even got our old logos.
Somehow we got to get on one of the poster bar.
I saw our logo in a lot of places.
It spreads the wealth. It creates 10 ambassadors, and it shares the information base, so that the collective genius is greater than the sum of the parts. The things that we require is come prepared, come with a conviction of thought, and it's going to carry the day. This is the hat wall, as we call it. Alphabetically, this is a hat from every ball club in the minor leagues. And it's really neat to have visitors come in, and you can just see them as they walk through and finding their hometown and finding their team. And
that's what I'm doing right now. I'm finding all
well, you're finding all yours.
Yeah.
Sure. It's alphabetical. So when you go through and you look at the ingenuity and the creativity of the logos and the names, that's what we're all about. That's what sets us aside from every other sports organization in the country or in the world. And the people who snicker about Montgomery biscuits and Lansing lug nuts and only snicker until the top 25 comes out and you find out that they're some of the better logos and wherever the L's are, the Lake Elsinore with the eyes down there on the end.
Yeah, I love that hat.
There's just some really neat stuff.
I know that you said you were a talking head mostly, but I mean, you have a lot of hands-on experience that has to have been beneficial coming into a position like this. And
it's critically important to have that broad base of experience. I can go into any ballpark and talk to virtually anybody on the staff And most likely I have done what they're doing.
That's so important.
And it gives you credibility. It gives you that point of reference where, you know, they know that you're not some suit coming in and trying to explain to them. And I was very much a hands-on GM, a hands-on assistant. I think the greatest compliment I was paid when I was elected was a guy that I had known close to 20 years in the business and said, "We're so proud of you because you're one of us." You know, the club operator who is now leading the charge. This is our library. This is a neat room.
Yeah,
and if these books could talk, you know, there's some really neat stuff in here. You will notice the conspicuous absence of females anywhere.
Yep.
And color.
Well, it is 1931.
It is 1931 in West Baden, Indiana. So it's...
oh, that's great, Joshua.
Now today, if you went to the banquet, you would not see as many suits and ties, and you would see women in color and probably not such formal dining.
I want to make sure that we pay some attention to the diversity initiative, and if you could just talk to a little bit about that, educate our fans that are watching.
The shift in the demographic of the United States is to minority interest, women and people of color, basically, Asians, Latinos, and African Americans. We are not positioned internally to deal with that kind of world. Not only is there a shift in numbers, but interestingly enough, there's a shift in capital. So you now have a more diverse base with more power. And this is not about race or gender, it's about human nature. And I'm a firm believer that as humans, we tend to congregate and go places and deal with people that look, sound, feel, act more like us instead of less like us. So if we as an industry are generally a white male-dominated industry, we're going to have a difficult time dealing with women and color. You and I could go to Harlem and we'd sell 3 tickets. We go in with someone who is more representative of Harlem, we'd sell 33 tickets. That's not a racist comment, that's a fact of life.
Yeah, I know. I'm laughing because I think if you and I went to Harlem, we'd probably be able to sell more than 3 tickets. I mean, you and I combined.
Yeah,
like,
well, maybe. But whatever it is, we'd sell that ton more.
That's true.
Our marketing down through here, our national marketing program. Director's on the corner, Steve's on the other front corner.
Well, and then I think this is probably the best time that, since we're in the marketing arm of this, is to talk a little bit about the social media aspect of it, and where do you see that helping minor league baseball as it grows?
You know, one of the things that we have done as an industry is adapt to our fans, and this is an extension of that.
Yeah.
I consider what we're in now, the young people and our fans, our younger fans, they're part of a microwave society. They want everything now. They want to participate. They want to, you know, and I tell the story when I'm talking to people about, you know, today they want their popcorn in 2 minutes and 35 seconds. If you're more than 40 years old, you understand it's 8 minutes, a pan, hot oil, and keep shaking it because it's going to burn.
Yeah.
And that's not the way it is today. And so we have to adapt. We are probably slightly on the backside of the curve, but catching up quickly with BAM, with the things that you folks are doing, leading by example and getting us out front. I think it's the future. There's no question about it. We have to, you know, you don't get people to buy things they don't want to buy. And you can't talk to people that don't talk back. Right. So we have to go to where they talk and talk to them in a way that they're comfortable with. Yeah. It's kind of like the diversity thing. This is our fireproof room. It was in a building. It's literally has a fireproof, as you can see, a cinder block. And what we have in here are really our jewels and our absolute important stuff, and player cards.
Oh, wow.
And up until about 1990, when Mike Moore came into the office, this is how they tracked contracts. Henry Louis Aaron, Walter Alston, Richie Ashburn, Aparicio. I mean, it's just amazing. Joe Leonard Morgan. And this just tells you, you know, what the contract, the options, where he went, bonus payments. The biggest fight my wife and I ever had was she tried to teach me to type. She was a business education teacher. So she decided she was going to teach me how to type one time. It didn't go so well.
Saying you go to every team, don't you?
No, we have 160 of those. I get into every league every year. Okay. So 16 leagues in a 22-week season. And I've done that the last 2 years, and Mary and I this morning we're going over the schedule, and I'll be able to do it, you know, God willing, I'll be able to do it again this year. I'll go to Oklahoma City for the championship in Fresno. We're probably going to end up, Scott and I are probably going to end up in Las Vegas. I've been to Richmond, I've been to Mobile, Birmingham, I'll go to Pearl. I've been to Tulsa, I'm going to Midland. I've been to San Jose. I've got to hold the first 10 days of August, first 9 days, because 11th and 12th are the Major League Owners meetings in Minneapolis. I mean, they're talking 7 hours to get home, 6 hours to get home from Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it, right?
I think that's it for now.
Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, you can suggest future guests and check for series updates by following Be Your Own Fan TV on Twitter.